This is my live reactions to the NASCAR Truck Series race, as now I unlocked live streams. There won't be any footage because of copyright, but currently I'm eating, so I'm just gonna show. There we go. He said they'll do the same thing this time around, but after stage one, they'll reassess, and if they need to, then it's about going. Ty Majeski's already walked into the playoffs. We're gonna see who joins him. I believe it will most likely be Chandler and Zane Smith, and then either Ben Rhodes or Christian Eckes is going to get the final spot. As I do not think Friesen, Nemechek, or Enfinger will be able to get it done. John Hunter Nemechek enters this race 5 points below the cut line, but he's also confident heading into this race, and he says the biggest thing for them is to control their own race and not let the moment get too big for them. Crew Chief Aaron Phillips, this is your first reminder. Make sure to sub to Roman the Human. He is a promising new content creator. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description. And then head to his About page and go to his SoundCloud.
Thanks a lot, Josh and Regan. Great to have you with us today, along with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Vince Welch. They touched on Ben Rhodes, who's on the bubble. 3 of the 4 guys below that cut line, but they didn't mention Grant Enfinger, minus 29 in a must-win situation today. Isn't he, Mike?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Vince. But I want to tell you, he's been in that position before. Back in 2020 at Martinsville, Grant Enfinger found himself in a must-win situation.
Enfinger 29 points out.
He went out.
Nemechek and Friesen 5 and 3. Eckes 3 out. And then we have Rhodes 3 to the good, and then the Smith brothers are both going to make it, I think.
That means it'll open up his strategy plays.
Make it easier. It makes it
not too long until the command to fire engines.
I want it to go easier, but then just think about Ty Majeski. I think it's really crazy that Ty Majeski, who's locked into Phoenix, and Grant Enfinger, who's last of our championship 8, have something in common, and that's just go win. Enfinger is in that position, and so is Majeski. And Majeski, he's just got a lot of speed too. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run the table here and carry that momentum.
Ty Majeski, I have a feeling, will not win today, as I think he's going to try to play it safe. Trying to avoid copyright, so turning down the volume.
One of those is stage points, and then stage points, and then finally stage points. That's what those guys have to do. I'm telling you, Chandler Smith knows how to get that done. As a matter of fact, he's got 37 of a possible 40 stage points in this round. So he's got a great crew chief on the box, championship winning crew chief Danny Stockman. He's been good all year long. I think he's going to be fine. And there's the 38 Zane Smith. We talked about him early on.
Now, out of the 4 drivers who make it, if it is
in the truck series here, he's 18 points above
Rhodes,
the cut line.
Smith,
I think Zane Smith is going to get it
Rhodes,
well.
the 2 Smiths, and Majeski, I'd probably have to give it to Zane Smith, as he's finished second the last 2 years.
Okay, we've talked about the 8 that are still in the championship mix,
but
obviously there's a lot more drivers.
We'll have to see
today. Who could win that's not in that championship 8?
I think Carson Hosenbar. You remember how fast he was when we went to Charlotte in the spring. He led a lot of that race, dominated late in the going, got in a crash after a late caution, but has the speed on the mile-and-a-half tracks. Carson's my guy.
He's a pretty good pick there. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yep, and Corey Hine, maybe another guy that's a possibility. A lot of agendas out there today, including the run for the championship. Who's going to be our final 4? Find out today.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Chief of Urologic Oncologic Surgery, Dr. Manaharan.
So, yeah. Carson Hocevar, another potential contender for the win. Ryan Preece on pole. That team is still competing for the Owners' Championship, along with the 51. And with the 98 being out in that, that's going to make it much more interesting.
We'll see how well Priest does. He seems to have a pretty fast truck.
We gotta set that final four. Who's gonna join Ty Majeski in the run for the title and that championship trophy? We're about to find out from Homestead.
Camping World is America's RV superstore, and we've sold over 1 million RVs. As America's RV headquarters, we've allocated over $400 million to pay top dollar for your RV. Don't let others offer you less. Call 1-833-BUY-MY-RV. Get a value, get a check. It's that simple. At Camping World, we'll pay you more or give you $1,000. Get your cash. Call 1-833-BUY-MY-RV or
So-
campingworld.com today.
Joint pain was keeping
Oh, Cardboard Racing Central. Yeah, sure. I'm willing to call. Let me know your race picks and make sure to subscribe to Roman the Human. The link is in the description.
Next to Market Walsh, numbers. Boring. More delicious news. Carl's Jr.
Oh, and you're wondering what I'm doing? Because I have my first live, because I have my live streams. I'm doing my live reactions to the NASCAR truck race.
The spotlights have shined before. On February 5th, they will shine again.
The Xfinity race is a bit later today.
Anything in LA. You coming? Get your tickets now at NASCARClash.com.
When we started our business, we were paying like an arm and a leg for the postage. I remember setting up ShipStation. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. I was printing out labels and saving money.
ShipStation saves us so much time. It makes it really easy. It's seamless. Pick an order, print everything you need, slap the label onto the box, and it's ready to go.
Their cost for shipping like what, cut in half, just like that.
These two diecasts you see right here, I found them both at an antique mall, as they had an entire section for racing diecasts. We have AJ Foyt
Without cable.
and the 97, who I forgot the name of.
Try free at FuboTV.com.
We have a political emergency. Listen some words that are very easy.
Mondays on Fox or watch anytime on Hulu.
Now, I do believe that both the 17 and the 51 have a chance at making the Final Four in the owners' standings, but it's going to take a win for both of them.
Running down a dream indeed. It's a dream of being an NASCAR champion. We'll crown a champion in a couple of weeks in Phoenix, but first we must set that championship group, the Final Four. One spot is filled. It belongs to Ty Majeski. 3 up for grabs, and we determine those spots today. What a beautiful day. Temperature in the low 80s. Qualifying yesterday rained out, and it was set on the metric, our starting lineup today. So Ryan Preece, who will drop to the
Oh, Ryan Preece is to the rear?
Ben Rhodes will start
Okay,
front row.
I do not.
And Matt DiBenedetto
I do not think he has a chance to make the playoffs then,
Chandler Smith
or to continue.
disaster today, and there's a couple of other playoff drivers in Christian Eckes and Zane Smith. Haley Deegan pushed.
Haley Deegan,
No one doesn't
he's
know what
7.
She had Las Vegas in her Xfinity debut.
ran 6th at Talladega last time.
Chase Purdy starting 10th. Parker Kligerman could do well.
He's had this weekend. That'd be interesting to see if Stewart get up there and win this race.
Derek Kraus, one of the Wisconsin
Those
natives.
guys we haven't seen yet is that guy right there. He's starting back at the
Colby Howard starting 14th. Nemechek in 13th. Caden Honeycutt and Kaz Brawl in row 8.
Box booth, you got a copy?
Row 9 is Brett Williams and Ty Majeski. Row 10, Corey Heim and Matt Crafton.
You got one thing on your agenda right now, and that's going for the win.
Hill and Hosabar in row 11.
This morning said you guys got a bad
Row
race with
12, we have
qualifying.
Grant
That's been
Henfinger
pushed back
and
to 23
Jack
spots,
Wood.
But looked like you had a pretty fast truck yesterday in practice.
And then row 13, we have Tanner Gray and Blaine Perkins. Row 14, Dean Thompson and Lois Allen. Row 15, Stephen Parsons and Chad Chastain. Row 16, Max Gutierrez and Spencer Boy. Row 17, Nick Leitz and Mason Maggio. And row 18, Brennan Poole and Tyler Hill. Really a shame that Clay Greenfield DNQ'd.
We talked about it earlier. That's a little bit risky with these trucks. How do you balance getting out there to that outside wall and hanging on and not putting into it?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as big of an advantage as the Xfinity cars and the Cup cars, but still, if we get 20, 30 laps into a run on the set of tires during the heat of the day, we're going to need it, but you don't want to knock the tail over on these trucks because that right rear is very, very sensitive. So you just got to manage that for us, I don't know if it's worth the risk in the first stage, but we need track position when we start the third stage. So, it's kind
As
of
it looks like,
to that point, we'll have to do whatever it takes.
Appreciate you,
we
buddy.
have
Great.
someone
Proud, okay?
on the stream, but not anymore.
That's what I'm trying to do. I have a son and a wife, and, there's other people in the family, but everybody's always working that way over.
We'll see who makes the playoffs. I'm kind of rooting for Enfinger though.
Wilbur is the Infinger's pet pig.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did a special.
You could have said make the family proud, but instead it's the pig.
Well, and at least Grant was on the ball. He jumped in there to save me on that one.
Let's take a look at our Camping World track description.
1.5 miles in length, and the thing that makes it interesting are those variable bank corners, and that's why guys are going to be scrubbing up against that outside wall trying to find that grip. This is a fun racetrack. You can run all the way from the bottom to the top. It'll be interesting to see who winds up where and how it all works out.
Let's take a look at our race analysis. As you can see, this race is 134 laps, just over 200 miles. Our stage 1 is 30 laps, stage 2 is 30 laps. That final stage, 74 laps. So the question is, when do you put on that last set of tires? In that final stage, you see our pit window somewhere between 50 and 55 laps.
So you heard Grant mention it, tire wear is going to be an issue today.
The most
as
recent
well.
winner
So
at Homestead is Kyle Busch.
that's for sure when you put those that last set of tires on. Good point, Phil. Let's go back downstairs and check
We'll
in
see if
with
he can continue.
Free Green here and begin with Green.
We'll see. He's not in the race, so I think we might see a new winner.
We get to Phoenix next week, but there are a couple teams, including Ryan Preece's team, that are focused on a owners championship and getting a race for that in Phoenix. Ryan Preece, a great day yesterday. What seemed to be after the rain came, he was going to start on the pole. Unapproved adjustments after fall off and go. That truck will have to drop to the rear. He told me that doesn't change the goal and the mission. He said this truck is extremely fast. When I asked him how fast extremely fast is, he just spoke about Nashville, Tennessee earlier this year, where of course Ryan Preece won that race as well. Josh.
Speaking of race winners, your most recent winner is the 25 of Matt DiBenedetto, and he called that win his first in NASCAR, a weight off his shoulder. He said at that point he was so tired of coming up just short, but it came at a great time as they have their eyes towards next season, trying to get sponsors and just get the team to gel the way they want for a full season. But just because he got that win doesn't mean he's satisfied. Now he says he wants more, and here at Miami Homestead is a place where he feels comfortable running that top line. So look out for the 25 to be another dangerous truck out there, and he really wants to go twice in a row, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. And a little pep talk here for the 18 of Chandler Smith.
All right, boys. We know what we got to do today. Just do what we do best. Stay out of trouble. Try to get set. Next race. Love each and every one of you guys. Have some fun. We'll be there at flat 134 to go to Phoenix. Make it happen. Sounds like a good plan to me.
Good stuff from Chandler Smith, and points-wise, he's in a pretty good position today. And as Phil said, stage points. That's so important. By the way, Ryan Preece was supposed to start on pole, dropping all the way to the tail. Last time we raced here at Homestead, June of 2020, the winner came from the tail. That was Kyle Busch. So it's not easy to do,
But it's doable.
and especially if
Denny
you've got a
Hamlin
fast
won the
truck,
Cup
as
race here last year,
indicated to Regan Smith
in 2020.
and the speed of that
And then last year, William Byron took it.
Playoff leaderboard, and of course, Ty Majeski already in yellow after that win at Bristol to begin the round. Chandler Smith, Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes feeling good at the moment.
How about 4 guys within 5 points? And how about, I talked about Grant Enfinger. He just wanted to throw a Hail Mary. I mean, he knows exactly what he get to Phoenix.
And now we have
And that's
8 drivers
that team. He seemed ultimately very relaxed. But we talked
vying
about the radio, and that's a good feeling.
Radio from the 66 of Majeski.
for a chance at winning the championship. Last time this race was even close to the end of the season was
That team
2019.
has been this season. Onwards.
Look on his head.
The winner of that race was Austin Hill. The champion from that year was Matt Crafton.
Position will carry for us. Just a great view of what it's like to be behind the wheel.
Neither of them are in contention for the championship,
The competition. John Hunter's got a ways to go, but he's got a very fast.
but the 51 won the Owners' Championship that year. They're still in contention.
He's going to start the ninth spot. He can be a race reporter. Stuart Friesen is used to making gains in big races. This is a big one for him. Right here.
Stuart Friesen,
First
starting
stage,
to 9.
30 laps. And to begin this race, Ben Rhodes will start on the front row in that orange 99, and that is Matt DiBenedetto on the inside. Winner at
Matt
Talladega.
DiBenedetto on the inside. He was supposed to start P3, but currently he's P2 as Ben Rhodes chose the outside.
DiBenedetto. We get another one today. Such a big day at Homestead Miami Speedway, and we're racing in the Camping World
Now,
Truck Series.
I remember last year watching the Xfinity race live, the Xfinity Series Championship race. That does not feel like it was it was almost an entire year ago.
Drivers know this is the best the truck is going to feel, so they're very aggressive.
3 wide, really aggressive at the start. Matt DiBenedetto starting to drop back. Parker Kligerman running towards the front.
Lined up behind the 18 of Chandler Smith.
Haley Deegan falling back.
That 25 truck of Matt DiBenedetto is up on the outside, and he did not get a great start.
Losing a lot of positions.
Got up on the outside and is making some time. Here's that start I'm talking about. Look at him falling behind.
Rhodes leads, which would lock him into the playoffs.
New tires. It's going to only get worse when you have hot tires.
And when they drop the green flag, we saw
Eckison to third.
in the pack trying to sort themselves out, giving
And he's trying to make a move on Chandler Smith.
And as you noted, Phil, when those tires are fresh, that's the time to get spots. Right now, Ben Rhodes out front, Chandler Smith
As
and Christian
Derek
Eckes.
Kraus making a move on Parker Kligerman, who drives a Toyota.
There's
Wow.
the 19 making a move. That's
I had no idea that Parker Kligerman drove a Toyota. I always thought he drove a Chevy.
Bottom, it just didn't stick. You could see the truck wobbling around as he dove to the bottom. Really difficult.
3 wide with Kraus, Gilliland, and DiBenedetto. Big move from Kraus. They're really close. Oh my gosh, that was close.
John Hunter right up against
John Hunter Nemechek almost hits the wall.
almost looked like he's
Haley Deegan trying to pass him.
in the right rear corner as well.
Ty Majeski catching up. He's going to probably make a move.
Rear quarter panel over too early in the race. They rely on that body being out a little bit for that side force.
As it looks like Kraus just got on the apron and it got him really loose. That was really close for him.
Reason had to back out of it. Ride with John Hunter here.
Now, that might not seem like much at home, but because of
Ty Majeski trying to get past
what Anthony was
Nemechek
talking about, they want to take care of that right rear.
and Kraus.
Man, getting that bent in this early is a big deal.
How does that change the handling?
And I have a feeling Ty would rather not drive against Nemechek, as you never know how well Nemechek can do. He's always,
And it just really makes
he's unpredictable.
he looks like he's survived that.
He's really good, but
Got good speed here, looking on the
he doesn't always have a great race. Or he doesn't always have great races, I mean.
This weekend, he'll run the Cup car for 23:11, and they practiced and qualified earlier today. He was fastest in practice, qualified fourth, so gonna feel good about himself coming into this race.
He's
here.
making a move on Ankrum, up into P6.
The truck doesn't look like it's any worse for the wear right now.
Rhodes still leading by about 4/10 over Smith.
I caught a glimpse of that. It looked like it was pushed over some, but obviously he still has a lot of speed here, right down running in the 6th spot.
Well, Matt DiBenedetto is the guy that's falling back. He started on the front row. He's already back in the 8th position. I think that's what's caused a little bit of the jumbling up in the front. Matt doesn't have the pace right now, as you can see.
As
That bright yellow truck is going to
here comes Matt Crafton trying to get by DiBenedetto. And it looks like he clears him.
Won a truck race here at Homestead, Miami.
We talked about the Smith
2019 champion. He won his last champion, or 3-time champion. He won his last title here.
Good news for those two drivers.
Majeski's passed DiBenedetto.
On board with Friesen in the 5th spot.
As we have Friesen and P5 that they're on board with right now. Eckes got passed by Zane Smith.
Yeah, let's get an update on the 98 of Christian Eckes. Now, during practice, his big concern was after 15 laps, he would start to get really loose. Well, right now, he's saying he's really tight on throttle. So, a concern right now for the 98 is running for.
Hello to whoever is watching. Here comes Eckes trying to make a move.
wide open. You can see Brennan, that white line on the bottom. Another driver's up against the wall.
As it's a really close battle. Smith is starting to catch up to Rhodes.
For one of those championship 4 spots.
As it's those two are battling really hard.
It's cozy season at Tommy John.
As we're currently
To stay comfy.
on an ad.
Pajamas and loungewear with innovative fabrics that are lightweight, breathable, and insanely soft. The fit looks and feels amazing. We can guarantee your comfort whether you're working from home, relaxing with the kids, or streaming your favorite show. These are pajamas and loungewear to swear by, but the only 4-letter word we use.
I'm going to mute my microphone through the commercials.
Sleepwear with code
We're back. John entered Nemechek into the wall, but he's past Eckes. He's trying to get past Friesen. And oh, he's into the wall again. Something's wrong with this car. He's slow. It looks like he's out.
Championship 4 problems early. Told me earlier this week, just can't beat ourselves.
Michael, you talked about these trucks are more susceptible to flat tires because of the metal bodies. I think that's exactly what happened to John Hunter Nemechek here.
They might get a tire on it
Nemechek, I think he's out of the playoffs now. As Rhodes leading would basically eliminate Enfinger. Eckes in 5th, Friesen
So much
in
talent behind the
4th.
wheel that it just tells you how much pressure there is for these drivers to go out there and perform at this level at this time of the season.
Yeah, then you see the tire go down there. Was it
Nemechek lost a tire, which was the issue.
deflation, but enough to get him in the wall.
Here's a good look of it from Friesen's perspective. That's John Hunter just in front of him.
That's when he scraped it the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time,
Second time, but that's what did the damage and cut that tire down for sure.
third time wiped him out. Made it back to the track, like we said, but a couple laps down.
Heartbreaking for John Hunter Nemechek and that 4 team. Crew Chief Eric Phillips, the winningest crew chief in series history. He's got a couple of owners' championships, does Eric Phillips as crew chief, but never a driver's title. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year either. 18 of 30 down here in stage 1.
Good battle here. Eckes really working that low line and making some good ground. You can see him gaining on Friesen as they exit. That's the hard part. Like I said, diving in the corner and getting up beside the guy is relatively easy to do. It's completing the pass that's so difficult.
Eckes trying to get past Friesen.
Eckes is better right now. Can't make his way around, and they're closing up on the back of Zeki, so really tight.
As Rhodes is running away with this.
The season it's been for Christian Eckes, not only making the playoffs, but he's been hot. He comes into this race 4 straight top 10s, been second a couple of times this season. Doesn't have a win this year. Did win last year at Las Vegas, about this time of year, in fact. But don't sleep on Christian Eckes, even though he doesn't have a win yet this season. He is more than capable.
Hey guys, one of the drivers I've been keeping my eye on is that 23 truck of Grant Enfinger. He has made his way all the way up to the 8th position. That's Matt.
Enfinger up into P8
Remember, he started 23rd.
from 23rd.
One situation, he has a great race.
And it looks like he's making the move on Crafton.
Speeds. Grant Enfinger's on his way to the front.
As is Ty Majeski. He's running really strong lap times right now as well, as you can see.
Enfinger stays on the outside, and it looks like he's clear.
Crafton started 20th, so all 3 of those drivers right there, Crafton, Enfinger, and Majeski, all moving their way from deep in the field toward the front, up inside the top 10. Majeski's gone around Eckes now, and Majeski into that 5th position.
That's what this track offers up. As you can see, John Hunter Nemechek back to pit road with more issues. It offers up a variety of lines and a way to pass your way up toward the front if you're mired in the back, and that's what these drivers have been able to do.
You see the right rear tires down on Nemechek's truck right there. Probably some more tire rub. Guys, the fastest lap at practice yesterday, obviously the trucks didn't qualify, was about a 32.50. They're running 4 seconds a lap slower than what they ran at practice.
And tell me, Phil, what does that do for the driver? Throws off his timing. How do you deal with that much difference? You know the setup is going to be different.
Nemechek with a lot of right side damage. We'll see what he can do. It already looks like he's out of the playoffs, so I think his main goal next for the rest of the year will be to just finish 5th.
Break for John Hunter Nemechek with problems early, but no problems for Ben Rhodes. He's still up front at Miami.
A Kohler home generator never misses a beat. It automatically powers your entire home in seconds and keeps your family connected. With a heavy-duty commercial-grade engine and no refueling, and even when the power goes out, life rocks on. Right now, get a free 10-year extended warranty and up to $750 off.
Pain used to keep me from what I love most. Not anymore. Blue Emu gave me my horsepower back. It's the powerful relief my joints need.
Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
We obtained documents revealing that Carl's Jr. and Hardee's have Charbroil Double Deals starting
$2.99 each.
Let's take a closer look.
Bite into these double deals starting at $2.99 each at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. These used cars.
I'm going to mute it as we're in commercials. We're back. Racing with 4 laps to go on the stage. Ben Rhodes still leading. He's been dominant.
Rhodes, I mean, we talked about it a little bit in the open. His performance has been inconsistent, uneven, if you will, during the playoffs, and he looks like a world beater.
And Rhodes has about a 1 second lead, but Zane Smith is really catching up to him.
Including that win on the dirt at Bristol, and then it just went
But now Rhodes gets past lap traffic, causing him to catch up.
during a commercial break. A race that's obviously hard to navigate with all the carnage you see there, and had a great second place finish, and that's why he's in this position of being so close to try making it to Phoenix.
You know, you hit on a minute ago, Phil. These times are just making me shake my head. It's almost a little over 4 seconds now that they're off the pace. I mean, these engines are probably straining under the hood to try to get some power to the back tires. These guys slip and slide.
How about Grant Hedberger up to the pit spot right now? So you can get by the 18 of Chandler Smith.
It's closed. 2 to go here in stage 1.
I'm pretty impressed with Eckes as well. He's been able just to hold it down lower than most everybody. And when you have options like that, as the other trucks begin to slip and slide, it obviously gives you a chance to move around this racetrack and make some moves.
Final lap here in stage 1. Top
Rhodes
75
now with about half a second lead. Then it's Smith, Friesen, Majeski, Enfinger, Eckes, and Chandler Smith in 7.
the wall again hard. And he's
Ty Majeski up to 4th from, I think it was 19.
Nemechek's hopes.
And Enfinger up to 5th from 23rd.
Continues to lead them all here in stage 1. Zane Smith makes
Seems
it
like they
close,
could
but
be
it's the ninth
favorites.
stage win of the season for Ben Rhodes, and those all important points that come along with it. 10 stage points.
Maybe making a statement too for Ben Rhodes, like, you guys have forgot about me. I'm still here. Remember, I'm the defending champion.
He is indeed on a 15 race winless streak. Maybe he is that today.
Heisman candidate DTR leads the undefeated ninth-ranked Bruins as UCLA looks to take down both Knicks and 10th-ranked Oregon. Today at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on Fox.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now, there's Sky Racing. It's okay.
More commercials, so I'm going to mute Ben Rhodes won stage 1. His car seems fast, but so do Enfingers and Majeski's, as they made up a lot of positions. So we'll have to see who's going to win the race. Everyone heading into the pits. Top 7 cars were all playoff cars in stage 1.
He said he's just a little bit too tight, maybe a 1 or a 2, so they're going to make an air pressure adjustment. Otherwise, Grant is happy with that truck.
Seen some incredible tire fall off during that first stage.
As Smith is the first off pit road, then we have Enfinger, Rhodes, Priest, Majeski, Friesen, Hine, Kligerman, Crafton, and Eckes. Priest in 4th after starting from the rear. That could get him back up. He was supposed to start on the pole, but he went to the rear. So we'll see how he does with that.
Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you, saving you hundreds, even thousands with Inflation Buster. That means more mini vacations, a lot more lattes, more date nights. Now imagine if rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase and you get exclusive savings when you refinance at new lower rates.
So we're back under commercial break.
Today and refinance tomorrow. Visit inflationbuster.com to get started. Red Light.
Okay, they're back. And so we are going to head through. As I'd say, the favorite for this race early on seems to be Ben Rhodes, but Smith, Zane Smith and Majeski and Enfinger all seem really quick too.
Couple bumps in the road on pit road. Matt Crafton got a penalty for guys over the wall too soon. Parker Craterman was speeding. So
Priest up to
this thing and see how it turns out.
4th as
In this one as well, that's something they haven't much
he
of
had a
this
great
season.
pit stop.
Drive from 20th well up inside the top 10.
But that's how impressive is that 23 truck of Brandon.
Yeah.
Started 23rd, and obviously his guys who pumped up on pit road, they got him out second.
And Enfinger came into this race in a must-win situation if he's to advance to that championship 4
As
against Phoenix. And he certainly looks like he's more than capable. He'll start
we'll
on the
see who
inside.
actually wins this. We're back green.
On the outside, stage 2.
Smith ahead. Then, as Enfinger does not get a very good restart, or at least not a very good jump, Ben Rhodes all the way, 3 wide around the outside. It looks like Smith might have ran him wide.
That was impressive.
What a nice move by Ben Rhodes.
Closes the
Going to be Enfinger versus Smith, it looks like.
ball in stage 1 is back out front.
But Enfinger starting to check up a bit.
Maybe even more impressive is that 17 truck right there, Ryan Priest. Remember, started last.
Enfinger now up to second.
And did you see that corner for Grant Enfinger? He was able to go to the bottom and clear.
Battling for first with Rhodes. If Enfinger wins this race, that's going to be a massive bombshell on the playoffs.
Majeski and Priest filling out the top 5.
Yeah, it's a really close battle right now. They're 2 wide. Here comes Zane Smith. He's really close. It looks like he's going to attempt a 3 wide move, but Rhodes and Enfinger both come up to block. Smith attempts the crossover on Grant. I'm not sure if it'll be successful. But here comes Priest trying to go 3 wide up the inside. He will clear Majeski to get up to 4th. Smith up to 2nd. Rhodes still leading.
After those pit stops, who made the right adjustments? I mean, you can let air pressure out, you can change your wedge, your track bar. Who did the right thing?
Smith catching up to Rhodes.
Good all the way through this stage.
And now he's only about 1.5 tenths behind. As huge move. It's Heim versus Smith versus Friesen. All 3 of them battling. Friesen really sends it in, but gets kind of loose, starts to drop back. Friesen is really loose on exit. 2 wide. Here comes Smith for the lead. Up the inside, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to do it. Enfinger in 3rd. He knows he has to win.
This place gives you. You can run the top, you can run the bottom, and you can also run through the middle if you need to.
Rhodes versus Smith. Still for the lead as Smith is starting to fall back. Heim runs wide. He's loose on the exit of 4.
Relatively short stage, too, Vince. Obviously, it's 30 laps, but after the pit stops and the caution flag, probably only about 25 green flag laps in this stage.
So we have Smith once again trying to make a move.
Zane Smith continued.
Oh wow, as I accidentally changed the channel for a second. Smith up the inside. Can he get the position? As Rhodes going up to the way outside lane. Smith gets clear. Smith blocking really hard, but Rhodes sends it up the inside. It doesn't look like it'll be enough, though. As Priest, it looks like, gets into P3, clearing Enfinger. But here comes Enfinger again. He's trying to make the move, and it looks like he's passed. No, Priest will catch back up. Looks like a 5-car battle. 5 cars within a second of each other, under a blanket. But Smith might run away with this stage. 2 wide battle between Rhodes and Priest as here comes Enfinger attempting to move on Majeski, not successful though. And Majeski trying to get by Rhodes. It looks like he'll do it. As everyone is falling back, Majeski might get by Priest. If not, he'll at least stay side by side with him. Smith with a big lead. Now, I'm going to keep commentating as they're doing non-stop. Still a close battle for second between Priest, Majeski, and Rhodes. Majeski already being locked in. Priest needs to win to advance in the Owners' Championship. And Rhodes, he basically just has to outperform Eckes and Friesen and just hope no one new wins. As Majeski's clear of Priest, and now he'll be able to set his sights on passing Zane Smith. With 14 to go in the stage. As here comes Hocevar, he is past Corey Heim, but Corey Heim attempting a switchback. Corey Heim up the inside. It looks like he'll take the position. As he has a big lead now. He's trying to get past the next car, which looks like it's Chandler Smith, his teammate. Zane Smith still leading. He's gonna run away with this stage. Oh, he's really loose. Majeski is starting to catch him as he's trying to get past lap traffic. Smith might gain some time as he's running away with it. Rhodes currently has a 10-point lead over Eckes. Or, never mind, it's now a 6-point lead. As Rhodes gets back past, which makes it a 10-point lead. So, Smith, now still about a second lead. He's starting to pull away a bit. Eckes really needs Rhodes to fall back to stand any chance at making the playoffs. Or he'd need Smith to crash, which could really carry him. Or either Smith to crash. I can't remember which one is higher in the points, so... Wow, Eckes got really loose. Still battling that. Battle could be to see who makes the championship 4. Lap 53 out of 134. Almost halfway, as you have to get to lap 67 and complete it to get halfway. So that'll be towards the end of towards the start of stage 3. As Chandler Smith is actually ahead of Zane Smith by 12 points. So if Zane Smith were to crash, that would, or entering this race he was at least. So if Zane Smith were to crash, that would really boost Eckes' chances. Howard currently in the top 10. Pretty good race for him. Caden Honeycutt running 16th. An amazing race for the young driver. Smith has almost a 2-second lead over Majeski. Currently, he would have a 6-point lead over Smith, or over his brother. As actually Friesen is currently really close. Friesen looking to catch up and pass both drivers, which could really improve his chances at making the playoff, the championship race. As he is really not that far behind. Only about 0.3 of a second behind. That could be huge for him if he can get past those two. And he's attempting to move up the middle. Eckes gets a little loose. Friesen now has to try to just get past Rhodes. And then it would really help him if Eckes can pass Rhodes, as that would give him a lead over Christian Eckes, and then he would have 6 points gained on Rhodes there. As these stage points are almost locking in, are really close to locking in, which could drastically improve his hopes of winning. As Friesen sends it up the inside, and he is passed, which could be huge, those extra stage points. Now, if Eckes can then pass Rhodes, that will drastically help Stewart. Parker Kligerman running 16. It'll be really interesting if he does get a full-time ride next year.
The regular season champ came into this race 18 points to the good, feeling positive about an opportunity to race for a championship in a couple of weeks in Phoenix, where he's been the championship runner-up the last 2 years. Looking to take that next step forward this year, and he's going to win stage 2.
As Smith wins
Here at Homestead.
stage 2. Still Friesen gaining some big points there.
A lot of people felt like he was the one to beat at the beginning of the season. Hard to argue that right now here at Homestead.
Smith has won 3 races this year, so... or maybe 4, I do not remember the exact number. I'm sorry if I was incorrect. I'm going to mute for commercials. I'm just unmuting to announce the 60-minute mark of my first ever live stream. They're back under green or with the pit stops. As Priest is the fastest and he's first off pit road, then it's Majeski, Eckes, Smith, Heim, Enfinger, Friesen, Smith, Ankrum, and Kraus. Zane Smith in fourth, Chandler Smith in eighth. As it looks like if Priest is gonna win, it's gonna be partially because of his pit crew. His pit crew has clearly been on point so far. As they're back under commercial break. Hello, 1 Mile Cup Series. Welcome to the live stream, and make sure to sub to Roman the Human on the link to his YouTube channel is in the description. You got a guitar, that's really cool.
Don't forget John Hunter Nemechek had a problem early, so he's out of the mix, a couple of laps down.
As they're getting ready to go back green.
The end of that stage is 1 point to the good as they run right now. How will this thing unfold?
Priest leading. Oh, and NASCAR 21 Ignition. Nice. I'm not going to get that game, but I'm planning on getting the 2022 DLC for NASCAR Heat 5. As wow, they're back green. 4 wide for quite a bit. Really aggressive. Majeski out to the lead. Yeah, true. I've heard some bad things about it, and there's a reason I'm not buying it. Yeah, Majeski leading. Then there's Priest and Smith, as there's a lapped car already. They're just past halfway now. Smith running Priest really wide, as that looks like Chad Chastain, who somehow is already a lap down. So it's either he...
Well, it's an easy decision if you think there's just, or no, there's only going to be one caution in that third and final.
Nice. Yeah, I have a lot of games on the PS4, but I mostly play SRX the game, NASCAR Heat 5, and F1 2020 because I'm too lazy to buy the new F1 and NASCAR game, the new F1 games, and the newer NASCAR games have kind of sucked. As Majeski still with a big lead. Smith attempting to make the move now.
Majeski, of course, got his first career win at Bristol. He's the only driver that knows he'll race for a championship at Phoenix in a couple of weeks.
What a smart race that Zane Smith has driven, though. 19 of the 20 possible stage points. He ran right to the rear bumper at Pit Roads at that first stage, and then won that second stage.
Eckes past Priest now.
Needs to do right now.
Christian Eckes just passes Ryan Preece for the third spot.
But Priest making a move back.
Earlier this season in Nashville, going to cross over and go right back. And Eckes, remember that 17 still in the mix for the owner's position, the owner's championship. Because
Nice. Yeah.
drivers that race for the championship don't necessarily need to work for organizations that are running for the owner.
Yeah, he's been performing surprisingly well with the 17. I said the 17 team, I meant 17. Him and Todd Gilliland carried that team to the round of 8 in the owner's points. Like, no offense to the other drivers, but they just weren't as good as him. And yet he's only won one race this year. It's pretty hard to believe. To be honest, I'm honestly still trying to figure out how this whole live stream thing works. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll have many more of these to come. 3 wide between Priest, Heim, and Eckes.
Heim diving to the bottom on Eckes. Now Eckes put that block on Preece and may have lost just enough momentum to allow Heim to get a good run on him, and now they're side by side for position.
Ooh, that was kind of close. Heim and Eckes almost made contact.
You just kind of noticed through the first 2 stages, obviously great pit work by Marty Lindley's guys, get him out in a decent position on this restart. Now he's headed to the front.
As Majeski now with about 0.2 of a second of a lead over Smith, but Smith is catching him. It's going to be a close battle for the win. As they're under commercial break, so I'm going to temporarily mute my mic. And yeah, that's an AJ Flight car. I said earlier in the stream, but I bought it at a antique diecast, or at an antique mall, and they had an entire section just for diecasts. But I'm going to mute my microphone because of the commercials. Oh, you're getting it on your PS4. Nice. We'll see how that's really cool. I've had several NBA games. Pretty soon there will you only have 2021 cars. I think you should do, I feel like you sort of have to start with Daytona because, well, the Daytona 500, but you can do it. You can do whatever.
So nice in South Florida. What a beautiful day it is today as well, with temperatures in the 80s. A great place for a terrific NASCAR weekend. And Ty Majeski likes the
You're being Harvick? Okay, nice.
front windshield where he sees no competitors. He is
Majeski now with about 0.5 of a second of a lead, and then in third is Hine. Second is Zane Smith. Friesen currently with a 1-point lead over Rhodes.
heartbreaking for Infinger, damaging his championship hopes. We've already seen one of the championship contenders go by the way of the wall, and that was John Hunter Nemechek early in the race. And now Infinger on pit road. He was running sixth.
Enfinger got into the wall. That's gonna end his playoff hopes. Majeski now with 75 1/100ths of a second lead. So 3/4 of a second now. It's about 9/10. As Ty is running away with this. There's 52 to go though, so anything could happen. As currently Rhodes has playoffs lead over Friesen. Eckes would be 4 points out. But if Friesen can get by Eckes, that would put him in by 1 point. Heim, if he wins, that would put him into the Owners' Championship. There haven't been any cautions other than the 2 stage breaks. Majeski now has a 1.1 second lead over Zane Smith. In third is still Corey Heim. Freeze currently running in 6th. And that could be really big for him as he basically has to win the race to make the playoffs. Eckes and Friesen battling for position. Friesen clears Eckes. Eckes trying to get back past him. And Friesen, it seems like he ran a little wide, but he's able to defend pretty well. Corey Heim still running in third. But Friesen and Eckes are catching him as now Zane Smith is only about 2/3 of a second behind Majeski. Oh, he's starting to lose some time. They're going on the side-by-side, so they're continuing torque. There's this big new idea I'm working on involving a Roblox game called Super Speedway Crashing. And so it's going to be a crash competition with some scoring to see who has the biggest crash. I'm going to get like an entire panel of judges so that it can be anonymous. Although one thing is, the next gen and the CO, because there's going to be a damage category in the scoring, the next gen and the COT are the only 2 recommended ones, as there's a really old, like not even 1960s car, maybe more like 1940s or 1950s car that will not end up being in contention, that doesn't have a damage model, so you do not want to run that. I mean, you would be able to submit up to 3 things. Up to 3 wrecks, and your highest would count towards the overall score. But then we'd also make a compilation of every single crash. And there's just a crash's score. Majeski still with a big lead. This is going to be the most important pit stop.
Eckes right now showing 7 points below the line, but certainly he's within striking distance, Josh.
Yeah, Christian Eckes has been so focused to the point where he's been quiet on the radio, and his crew chief came over and said, I need to hear from you. What's going on? You've been very quiet. He said, I'm just a little free.
Hello to whoever is watching this right now.
They told him you're 7 points out right now. Told him where Rhodes was.
Welcome to the stream.
Eckes' crew is all business right now.
So close to those final pit stops, we believe if you want to cut that last stage in half, you're zeroing in on them.
Barry, the teams are talking about fitting within about 5 laps.
Ah, that's tough.
Eckes is for both, and there's Corey Haim in that black 51.
Well, hopefully you can pull off a last to first before the game crashes or there's some massive glitch.
We're talking about green flag pit stops. These drivers don't make that many green flag pit stops here in the Truck Series. Obviously, the stages are such that they can probably run the first 2 stages. Ryan Preece is going to be the first guy out there.
Race spinning from just outside the top 5. Winner earlier this season at Nashville. Regan.
Preece heading into the pits. His pit crew has been amazing, but
How about the season that Ryan Preece has had? I mean, it has just been amazing. 6 top 5s in 9 starts, including that win at Nashville. His
we'll see if he'll be able to make it.
at 11, 4 straight top 4. His last 4 races hasn't started both, but his last 4 starts first, second, third, and fourth. Ben Rhodes, stage 1 winner on pit road in that 99.
There's several people heading into the pits. With Majeski, Smith, Friesen, Heim, a lot of people still have yet to head in.
Here comes Stuart Freese.
Stuart Friesen entering.
See him slide to a stop there.
Regan.
Stuart Friesen being told race the tires as this. Stuart Friesen, a little bit of trouble on that right front as well.
Regan, the left front didn't go very well either. You can see that little bit of debris.
Friesen seems to have a pretty slow pit stop.
Stuart would have reported if the
Majeski needs to head in soon.
concern.
Chandler Smith getting a chassis adjustment.
I think he's hoping that there's going to be a caution, but I'm not sure if that's going to come out. Although if there is, there will be a lot of people trapped a lap down,
See, Eckes coming down pit road now.
which could mean he could still restart towards the front with a lot of drivers he's competing against trapped a lap down. Although they would probably get the wave around. Zane Smith currently pitting.
I think that's pretty funny that
Majeski has to go now. It's really his only chance.
Zane Smith.
And Zane Smith, he's been stalking the leader of Tom Majeski, but right now that truck is too tight and then breaks loose because he has to put steering to the car or to the truck in the center of the corner. They're going to adjust for that.
Majeski now finally heading in,
Majeski.
as he barely doesn't put
At 66.
Perkins a lap down on the track. That might not be good, as that might mean he had a lower quality in lap. Timmy Hill might run away with the lead, which would be awesome.
I'd say the experiment has worked.
Looks like Ty Majeski might run away with this. Hill has passed him, but it does not look like Smith will.
I believe if I was an experiment,
Aloysius catching Majeski. It's going to be really close. Come on, Ty. Get up past him. Oh, you just wrecked the 15. Ouch. Yes! Majeski's ahead of Smith. Hello to the second person who joined this. P39, not bad. You just wrecked the 15. Tough break for them. Timmy Hill with a 5.5 second lead. He's the GOAT. I want him to win the race, even though I know he won't. Priest up to third now after his pit stop. I've been saying it lots of times. He's going to win. Or he is. His pit crew has just been amazing. Come on, Ty. Majeski needs to warm up his tires, then he'll be able to run away, I think. As they both passed Timmy Hill, now he's attempting a move on De Benedetto and Deegan. Okay, AJ Foyt. Fun fact, my great-grandpa actually was on his pit crew for a long time. And we have the 97, who I forgot the name of. Oh, it's Anthony Lazaro. That's who it is. As we are officially 90 minutes into my first ever stream. I'm hoping NASCAR are gonna come back from the commercial break, but I'm not in the mood for muting, so I'm just going to keep talking. Oh, and now we have 3 people on the stream. Never mind as someone left, but everyone make sure you subscribe to Roman the Human. The link to his channel is in the description. He's really close to 100 subs. He now has 95 subscribers.
Ty Majeski continues to lead at Homestead Miami Speedway in the penultimate race of the season, determining our championship 4 today here at Homestead Miami. And right now, Majeski, the only one that we know is going to race for the championship, the only one for sure that we know. He earned that right with the win at Bristol a few weeks back. He's trying to put the exclamation point on it with another win here today.
Rhodes currently with a 1-point lead over Friesen.
Every single truck is still running on the racetrack. All 36 trucks are still running. So
Majeski with a big lead, but there's a lot of lapped traffic that he has to catch up to.
Hit some traffic. We'll make sure somebody else doesn't screw up and catch Majeski in it.
I gotta tell you, I just can't imagine how these guys are managing slipping and sliding these tires.
With 26 laps to go.
Majeski had a sideways kick, honeycut right in his windshield, and was able to maneuver around him. A lot going on out there on that racetrack.
You might have caught a glimpse of the four of John Hunter Nemechek where Majeski went by Nemechek. Problems early. He's 3 laps down. He's out of the mix. As you look at Rich Lucius there, the crew chief for Ben Rhodes in that 99. John Leonard, the crew chief for Stuart Friesen in the 52. Right now, 1 point separates those two from moving on to the championship 4.
Stuart Friesen.
Obviously, that's going to take a point away from
It's Rhodes versus Chandler Smith. If Friesen can get by Priest, that's going to put him in the playoffs. But most likely, it all depends on whether or not Smith can stay past Rhodes.
Rhodes would get the tiebreaker, and that's based on the best finish of this round.
You know, when we look at those crew chiefs, Ben, we see these drivers out there working so hard for grip. What about the brains of those crew chiefs? We got to be fried right now. Just think of all the scenarios, everything that's going to happen, and what their driver can do in order to try to get that 1 point they so desperately need. The nice thing for those guys, they're done. They can't get any more. They don't have any more tires. So now they have to be a cheerleader for Ben Rhodes and Stuart Friesen. They can just worry and cheer a lot. That's what they're doing.
You guys talked about it, and we addressed kind of the uneven.
Ben Rhodes still with a lead in the playoffs. It looks like he'll make the championship 4. But there's still 23 laps left, which is a pretty long time.
That second place finish would be
That's
Rhodes to that championship 4. So that's why every spot, every race.
34 and a half miles.
We've seen Rich Lucius in that 99 team take chances for those stage points. That's the Talladega result that would put Ben Rhodes in that position. But Rich Lucius and that team has done a really nice job.
Oh, even if Friesen finished 3rd, he wouldn't be able to make the playoffs
Ben Rhodes 16 stage points.
unless Rhodes lost a position.
Stage points out of
So if Friesen finished 3rd and Rhodes finished 7th, Friesen would not make the playoffs. Rhodes would. Or make the championship 4, Rhodes would.
watch him work that thing. Finally heated all the way up, just barely hit the gap. Almost off the corner before he was able to get no problem. Now this guy races dirt every weekend. He's used to being sideways.
Yes.
75 miles an hour, but still he's working it.
Friesen needs to catch up to Priest. He's about a second behind, as Majeski has a 1.5 second lead. And 20 laps to go. That's 30 miles left in this race.
To lead Zane Smith by nearly 2 seconds. We'll come back for the finish from Homestead.
As they're going under commercial break, so this time I'm going to mute my microphone. They're back with 15 to go.
Ty Majeski continues to lead. Stuart Friesen.
Majeski now with a 2.5 second lead over Smith.
He's taking it, Vince. Man, that truck's got some pace.
Ryan Preece did it about 2 laps before Stuart Friesen. Is there that much difference, Mike, what do you think?
Well, you also have to factor in who got on and off pit road fastest. And like you said, maybe those 2 laps is making that big of a difference for Priest, but Stewart was so far behind. He's just come from, made great adjustments and had great speed this whole run. Yeah, he was 4 seconds behind Priest after the pit stops.
And every single position matters because, as you see there on the bottom left, Rhodes and Friesen tied for that 4th and final spot on the championship floor.
That's the problem for Friesen now. He's 11.5 seconds behind.
Apparently, Friesen would lose the tiebreaker, and it looks like Rhodes is going to make the playoffs, but Crafton is not too far behind him.
One spot. And look what's right there. That is teammate.
There might be some team orders there to get Crafton to stay behind Rhodes. So
Cannot lose a spot. And it looks like Crafton's got a better truck than Rhodes right now. Look at that run through 3 and 4.
So we'll have to see.
Beside his teammate.
Oh, Crafton making a move.
Well, that would be
Seems like he doesn't care about Rhodes being in the playoffs.
by a teammate to get knocked out.
Rich Lucius, the crew chief of the 99 of Rhodes. Gave a little shake of the head there. They've been thinking, man, that's a tough way to lose a key position to your teammate. Maybe not as Crafton tucks back in.
Crafton was the fastest truck on the racetrack that last lap while running down on the inside of Ben Rhodes. Like, that wasn't the preferred line he took, but yet still has that kind of speed.
You know, it's amazing. We've seen a couple of trucks get into the wall today, but every truck that started is still running. That's only happened once with the Bristol Dirt Race this season, believe it or not. The only race
11 laps to go.
running at the finish in the series history. They happen again today.
Rhodes still would have the position due to the playoff spot due to a tiebreaker, but he's catching up to Eckes, which would actually give him a 1-point lead.
His driver understand that getting passed isn't the end of the world. You pass him right by. That's good encouragement from the top.
Veterans, Crafton, 3-time series champ, the only driver in the field who's won here at Homestead. And of course, his teammate there in that 99, Rhodes, the defending series champion.
This might be the longest laps of Ben Rhodes' career. Looks like Crafton has faded a bit away from the 99. That's Christian Eckes, another one of the teammates from the Force Ford right in front of Ben Rhodes. Ben's been able to chase him down.
A 3.25 second lead for Ty Majeski.
How can I gain 8 points over these last 10 laps?
As 10 laps to go.
Well, and it's not likely to happen.
We're about an hour and 42 minutes in to the stream.
To be able to gain 8 points as he currently runs 6th.
You know what the outrageous thing to happen would be if that caution. Oh, gosh. A Reese, look at Ben Rhodes. Moving sideways there. Almost into the outside wall. Going to lose all that momentum.
For a few people, caution would be a dream, and for some, it would be a nightmare, right? Less than 10 to go.
Majeski now has almost a
In that orange
4-second lead. Could we see him run away with his second win in this round and his second career win?
which driver makes it to the championship four?
It seems like he could end up being a favorite for the championship with this momentum. Crafton passed Rhodes. It's a really close battle, and that could also determine who makes the playoffs.
He's going to have to do it on the bottom. I'm going to stay up here with just a little bit more grip on the high side. Unless I have to go down below to pass somebody else. He just sailed it in there. Can he throw it on the outside wall? Oh, that was not easy.
Majeski had such a bad second race, though, that even with 2 wins, he wouldn't be in the top 4 in points. Rhodes currently leading the tiebreaker. Six to go. Oh my gosh, if Nemechek brings out a caution, that is going to be so annoying. Boyd is slow, but he's heading into pit road, so I think he'll be fine. Majeski still with a huge lead with 5 laps to go. Literally the top 12 are, or 12th on back are all a lap or more down. So basically, Ankrum or Kligerman could try to pit. If anyone has a set of tires left, they could try to pull off a pit stop, which could actually give them the win. But I don't think they would want that. I don't think some drivers would want that. But for a driver like Eckes, who's currently running 7th, that might be the smartest choice to make. If he had, like, this is a big if, like, if he had a set of tires left. Versus a driver up front, more like Friesen or Smith or Majeski might not want to. Has about a 4.5 second lead for Ty Majeski. Crafton and Eckes really close to Rhodes. As Rhodes and Allen made contact. Rhodes has one more corner to advance. He's really loose, but Ben Rhodes will make the playoffs. Or, never mind. He still has an entire lap left to try to make it. Majeski makes the playoffs. Or, Majeski wins his 2nd race of the round. Rhodes heading through 3 and 4. He runs really wide. He will beat Eckes, and Ben Rhodes is in the playoffs. So the top 4 drivers will be Ty Majeski, Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, and Chandler Smith. It's so surprising that Smith hasn't won a title yet. But I'm going to say it. I think Zane Smith will win the championship, although Majeski has a really fast car and a lot of momentum. he could pull something together. Chandler Smith has been really good this year too, but I don't know if he'll be able to do it. He did win last year at Phoenix. Rhodes was last year's champion. I feel like I actually have no idea who will win the championship, but I'm going to give it to Zayn.
And it worked out. Yes, it did.
Polish victory lap from Majeski.
Majeski has won for the first time to open this final round at Bristol.
Once again, it looks like he's not doing a burnout. But hey, he does a Polish victory lap, being a Wisconsin native. That's awesome. If you don't know, a Polish victory lap is what Alan Kulwicki would do as his victory celebration.
Friesen finished third today, but just outside the line to earn a spot in the championship.
What a battle he put up, though, Vince. Great job on he and that team. You saw Majeski was heading the wrong way on the track. That was to honor and celebrate Alan Kulwicki, Wisconsin native, him and his aunt Helen.
And
I can't wait for Phoenix, guys. He's a short guy.
that's going to be the end of this stream. See you some other time.
Championship for Phoenix last year.
Lucius and Rhodes.
And good luck in Coda, 1 mile.